You will find Southeast people in service. I didn't marginalize them, Buhari. President Buhari has defended his administration against allegations that he has marginalized the Southeast region, saying Southerners are still in the civil service. He stated this on Thursday in an interview with Arise News Television in Abuja. When asked about the general perception among Nigerians that his government marginalized the Southeast region and failed to give them key appointments, Buhari said the interviewers should rather check the civil service list. He said, you better get the list of our civil service if you think there are no people from the Southeast. There are people from the Southeast, but they know they have to go through the line. Okay, so what does that mean? I think, first of all, let's not even be political about this. I mean, when you say Southeast people, again, there's so much ambiguity in what he says. Go straight to the point. Igbos, first of all, that's it. And I think, to be honest, another perspective to this is that it's a little bit problematic because, again, he appoints. So in a way, are you trying to say that he should be part of the nepotism? Because, again, the reason for his appointment should be by skill. Again, this just arguments for us to see both sides of the coin. Listen, for it to be that, okay, you know what, is it about skill? Or because he's in the power to put people in there, he can exploit it by putting in people that he knows. Again, the fact remains that one can describe the power balance as the power resides in the north. That's it. That is literally it. Because again, majority of them are in the north. Again, when it comes to people use this, I think it's like let's say end of secondary school examinations and cutoff marks, for example. People use that as an example to highlight how there's a difference in the skill set that is needed to attain certain positions that, in other regions it's a higher standard. For example, let's say the cutoff mark is, let's say, I'm exaggerating here, if it's 1,000 for the south, in the north it would be 500. That is what people try to use as a basis to argue how nepotism works or is working in the government currently. But then again, it's like, please refer to Southeast people. I mean, when we talk about Southeast people, I understand what you mean, but just go straight to the point. Igbos, okay? Southeast people are like, oh, them people there, it doesn't really show any attachment or oneness to them. And again, why should they not argue that you marginalize them? Again, the fact is, he dug a hole for himself with the statement that he made, and then, referring back to the Biafran War, calling agitators right now children. Again, you might be older than us, but please respect yourself. That's it. But it's just like, to call them children as if that's the thing. You think we don't know history because you don't expect us to know our history. Because that is why you think you can just call us children and not think that we can understand the impact of the war. It still affects them till today. Yes, some of us might not have lived at the time. However, the people who lived through the Biafran War are, in a way, low-key, not to a large extent, but they are speaking up about their experiences. And then you being an active member of the military at the time, and then you saying, oh, we're going to treat them in the language that they understand, and we will give them the shock of their lives. What do you expect us to think? You literally further highlight and push the narrative that you don't like Igbos and you marginalize them. But then again, one can argue that even before Buhari got into power, it has been the same. It has really been the same. But again, it's like, I think from that Biafran War, or some would describe Biafran genocide, I think there's been a disconnect with the Nigerian and the people, well, the Igbos as well, because that's just it. There has really been a disconnect when it comes to appointments and basically benefits that other regions will get. Because I think, there's sort of still this view that the Igbos are sort of betrayers because they wanted to leave. But then again, I think a question that we should all be asking is that, why did Biafra feel like they had a right to leave? Because again, if they were independent at the time, why would you hold people hostage if they don't want to stay in a... See, you can't hold people against their will. But then again, going back just to summarize, the marginalization towards Igbos didn't start in Buhari's in Buhari's led administration. However, it did intensify it, absolutely, but it didn't start there. And the Biafra War serves as the basis as to why the Nigerian government has a disconnect with the Igbo region. That is what it is. Let's look at the comment section. So the first person says, you will feel the brunt of what is about to happen. You can cage other tribes, but you can't cage Biafrans, especially Igbos. Civil service, you said, don't they have qualified people for other sectors such as security? We'll talk to them in a language they understand. We'll organize the army to pursue them. I don't know what this has to mean, all right. Somebody says, why all the recent Buhari that on media? Has he woken up from his long slumber, or is the presidency still experiencing shock? I mean, what can you really say, to be very honest? I mean, at this point, after all this while, I think Nigerians would prefer that he had woken up from whatever it was that was happening. And now, somebody says Southerners are not interested in one Nigeria anymore, and we are not the same tribe, not one region, not even living the same life. Let them go. Our prayers that we can never be the same again, forever and ever. This is very confusing. I don't understand what you're trying to communicate, but that's it. Someone says nobody ever planned to remove you as president. The youth don't even have the youth don't even have the wherewithal they need. They want you to see they want you to see the level of joblessness and poverty in the land under your watch. I mean, to be honest, don't make the youth sound selfish. I mean, again, in Nigeria, we're all selfish, to be honest. I mean, you can't go into details as to why we are the way we are, but again, it's like, the youth may not necessarily just care about themselves only. But again, to be very honest, as a president, it's not an easy job. But still, for a Nigerian, or for Nigeria's history, the bar has been so low. I mean, there is literally no standard. I mean, look at our president. Look at our president. It is so, I don't know how to describe it, but it's just very much embarrassing. Really is. Somebody says, so there are no northerners in civil service. So he had heavily marginalized them. Most of them in civil service came there during another government. That is also new thing. I mean, to be honest, we're talking about institutional marginalization at this point, as in corporate marginalization, as in you're literally blocking people from getting into contact with resources that, to be honest, it's equally theirs. But then again, it's your gatekeeping resources to your people only. That is nepotism. Again, you can appoint, but what kind of positions are you appointing? Because there is no way you can argue that people from the south are ill-equipped or insufficiently equipped to be in such high-ranking positions in which, such income or such experience and such respect, it would literally impact their region in a very, very good way. But then again, you choose not to. Listen, as somebody said, the Igbos that are there were probably most likely from another administration. Put what you think about this, and don't forget to like and subscribe.